Hey guys, unfortunately I have lost my sound in this video again. I'm absolutely devastated because I was so excited to film this video and I had such a great time. I got so many reactions, so I'm absolutely devastated. So anyways, I'm kind of just salvage this the best I can because it's really unfortunate. To start this video, I am currently, I think it's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I am at like this little service station place waiting for a lady to come and meet me so that I can buy a pram bag for my pram because I am flying with my Reborn up to Brisbane. So I just really wanted to share my journey and see what would happen. I honestly have never flown with a Reborn on a plane before, let alone I wasn't sure if they would let me take my pram. I thought that it would be nice to share it with you guys. So the reason I was going up was actually for work. So I was working at the PBC Expo with Reborn Baby and I had to go up and set up on the Friday and then I had to work the Saturday and the Sunday. So I asked Valkyrie if they minded if I went a day before, and so we changed my flights to Thursday, and I went up and I paid for my room to stay and stayed an extra night, and then I organised a meet. So here is the pram bag. I just got it from the lady. We're in the airport car park, and I'm just going to check and see if the doona fits in it because I'm a little nervous to see if it fits in. Here's my doona and all of the luggage. I bought a big suitcase with me. You'll see why. I have this all sorted. So here's my luggage, my doona in the pram bag, my backpack, my jumper and my camera bag, and then I have the baby on me in an ergo. I'm now just getting my luggage all tagged and I'm actually waiting for the luggage handler to come and pick up my pram right now. So it's in a pram bag. I read somewhere that if your pram isn't in a pram bag and it gets damaged, they will not fix it, but if it's in a pram bag then they will fix it. I'm just walking through security. You're not able to film through security. I went in and I knew that I had to take the ergo off and I knew I had to put the baby through the x-ray machine. So I walked over and started undoing the ergo and I put like my bag up in one of the little tubs, and then I got the baby out of the ergo and I put her in one of the tubs and I was like, oh, she's got to go through the x-ray machine, she's a doll. And then I continued to take the ergo off. So the guy like behind the machine was like, oh yeah, alright. And then there was like the guy that's like standing in like the metal detector thing, or like the, I don't know, the body scanning thing, and he like came over and he's like, oh, you need help? And I'm like, oh, I'm good, thank you though. I keep taking the ergo off and he came over and kind of like looked at her and he's like, oh my gosh, like so cute or whatever. I took the rest of the ergo off and I put the ergo in the tray with her, and then I was like kind of ready for everything to go through, and he's like, oh, you can pick her up now. And I was like, oh, she's a doll, she has to go through the x-ray machine. And he's like, and he's like, yeah, you can grab her now. And I was like, oh no, like she actually has to go through the x-ray, she's only a doll. And he like did not believe me and he was like, oh my god, really? Like, so he came over and I like lifted her hand up and stuff. Obviously I couldn't film anything because we were through security. And then the guy behind the counter was like involved with this as well. He was like, wait, what? And he was like, couldn't believe it. And then this lady came over and couldn't believe it. She was like, I literally, there was like 5 or 6 security guards that came over and were just like looking because it was such an empty airport and it wasn't busy. So they literally all came over, and then there was like the security guard from the other x-ray machine on the other side, and she was like, are you sure it's real? And she like yelled it out to the other security officers. I turned around and I was like, yeah, she's just a reborn doll. She has a vinyl head, vinyl arms, and vinyl legs, and a cloth body. Like if you ever x-ray them, that's what should be in them. And then they've got like some glass beads and some stuffing, and sometimes they have a little wonder wafer in them to make them smell nice. And like I kind of just explained what they were for the next people that come through. So like that whole team was now aware of a reborn baby doll. So I thought that was very cool just to show them. They were also so kind, and they kind of like put another tub over her a little bit so that when she went through the x-ray machine that like the little flappy bits didn't go on her. So I was really thankful about that. And when she came out, the guy at the other end that helped she like, he picks all the trays and stuff up, he had a look at her and he had a chat and we were talking, and he's like, I bet we'll get a complaint from another passenger saying that we made you put your baby through the x-ray machine. And I was like, oh my god, I hope not. But he's like, oh no, don't worry, it'll be fun. It's really hard to film everything, so I just want to say that it's just me. I don't have anyone to film for me, so there's no one that can catch little bits and pieces. So basically, I took my bag up to the counter and I checked my suitcase in, and at my feet in front of the counter I had the pram bag, and of course I had the ergo. You can see that I'm wearing it now. Her hair's all wrapped up because I do not want it to get messed up. I literally got her a day before going on this flight. So I basically went up and gave her my ticket and scanned it, and she's like, oh, I just have to ask a question. And I was like, okay. So she's waiting to ask a question from someone else, and about a minute passes, and I'm like, oh, like, is there something I can help with? And she said, oh, the infant's just not on the ticket. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my plan here was to pretend that she was a real doll until I got through the gate, because then they would check my pram. But I had a predicament right here. So I was just, for starters, I don't want to mess up the flight, like the head count or anything like that. So basically I was like, oh, right. Yeah, that's because she's a doll. And the lady was like, oh, okay, no worries. And like I turned to show her, and like she was fine. She just started, like, kept putting my stuff through. And then I said, oh, would I be able to check this car seat? And I like slid it from behind the counter to her, and she's like, yeah, sure. So I get it up on the thing, and she weighs it, and then she puts a tag on it, and she tells me to take it over to that door, which, in my experience, Newcastle is such a chill airport. Like, I never have any issues ever with Newcastle. So Jetstar from Newcastle to Brisbane, and they were absolutely fine with it. So I boarded as normally at the end, and when I walked on, I leaned forward with the ergo and I said she's a doll, so that the head count didn't get messed up, as well as she wouldn't have been on my ticket anyways, so I had to tell them regardless. And all of the flight attendants were so lovely about it. They were just like, oh, okay, yep. Later on, I actually had to take her out of my ergo and put her on my lap, so I have a few of those photos of just me holding her on the plane, which I thought was odd because she was kind of contained in the ergo. But like, if there was an accident or anything, she would have been contained on me, but maybe they were worried about if there was an accident, she would be like stuck on me and I would find it hard to get out of the plane or something. I don't know. We are here, we're in Brisbane, all of our luggage arrived. Now I put everything back together. So I feel like I need to tell you the reason I took the giant suitcase. When I was pushing the doona and pulling the suitcase, and then I had my backpack on, I actually had the big pram bag in my suitcase and my ergo in my suitcase. So I left plenty of room. If I didn't have to put the pram bag and the ergo in there, then I would have just taken a smaller suitcase. But I wanted, like, the room more than anything. In the Uber heading to the hotel, the Uber, I said that she was a doll. I said, it's all good, can she go on the seat? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And off we went. It was so convenient having the doona to travel with, because when I went in a car, people, even if she was a doll, people didn't know that it wasn't a legit standard seat, and it was just convenient. I just wanted to watch out wheels weren't getting too dirty because I didn't want to ruin someone's car. In Brisbane, and what I did is I basically got to the hotel, dropped all of my stuff, and started running to this meet that I was already an hour late for because my flight got delayed. This is South Bank. This is where I came up to last time I came up here, and honestly we'll probably come up here again in December for the next meet. I don't know what's going on with that, but I am starting to organise the meet and just going up for the Ipswich doll show. Here is everybody. This is Hayley, Marie, and Alex, who's not allowed to be on camera. I mean, she is. She just doesn't really like it. So I always respect her wishes. This is me showing everyone the doona because everyone was a little bit excited to see them. But this is such a brilliant pram for travel. I wouldn't have it as my all day every pram, but that is because I absolutely love pram. Having the little bag on the front was such a lifesaver, and I got the little handlebar grip. This is Alex's baby. Oh, and my pram garland that I made. Isn't she sweet? She's so cute. And the cutest little outfit that she's wearing. She always bedazzles her babies. And over here is Haley's baby. I cannot remember her name, but she's so cute. And the Agile has a nice cover too. Oh, and the pram bag on the front of the... I can't believe how loaded these prams are. Here's Marie's beautiful bubba. I remember her name. It's Darcy. It just popped into my head right now without any sound, and I remember her name. And I just couldn't believe how lovely her pram liner and everything was. It's so cute. And Marie made it all. She just like stitched it into the bassinet. It's so cute. Doing a lineup of the bubbas and taking a photo. Then we had some more people arrive. So this is Sophie's pram. It is like a retro Pooh Bear pram, which is so cool. I feel like this might be the great place to put this, because all I was talking about when I was up here is, do you guys remember a pram that looked very similar to this? I believe it was only forward facing, but on the wheels were solid, but they had a teddy bear head like printed into them. And I believe they came in a yellow wheel or like a reddy maroony wheel, but I cannot remember anything more about them. So I've been trying to get a photo of this pram just to see if anyone had one and what they look like, because when I was a little girl, I remember telling my mom, when I grow up, I'm going to have one of those prams with the teddy bear wheels. So I would love to see what they look like, to see if I still want one, but I can't want one if I don't know what they look like other than remembering the wheels. So if you have one, please send it to me on Instagram, on my Facebook page, ShellBells Creations, TikTok account, however you can send it to me. Please send it to me. If you have to email me, I cannot remember this beautiful girl's name, but I know that Sophie is her mama, and she was doing her hair. This is Sharon's little baby girl. I cannot remember her name either, but she has the cutest little silver cross pram, and I love the big purple bow. And how cute is this Pooh Bear bag? Now we've met up, we're going to head over and find somewhere to eat our lunch. There's Alex's bum. How crazy is this? We literally got the exact same table that we sat at the last time that I came up in December, and it is June that I came up and we got the exact same tables. It was pizza for lunch, and here's all of us sitting with our babies. Alex doing a hair tutorial, teaching us all the best way to look after hair on our babies. Here's Soph doing a cool demonstration on the doona. The doona is honestly so heavy, like I'm not even lying, it's really heavy, and the only place you're going to lift it up is from when you take it out of the car and put it on the ground, and then you're just going to put it on the wheels. So I'm not even worried about it being heavy, because you literally just push it all of the time. Alex styling the baby's hairs as normal. We ended up chatting for so long that decided that we would walk over and get some dinner from the place next to us. I'm so bummed I lost the sound here, but this guy was just holding the baby and he thought it was so weird. He just thought it was so realistic, but so cool and weird, and just all of the feelings that people feel about these dolls. So I totally get it. And then we had these ladies come past and look at all the babies, and we explained that they were dolls. And one of the ladies was like, "Oh, nope," and walked off. She was like, "I cannot deal with that." It was quite funny. And then one of her other friends was like, "Oh my god," she wanted to like see them. But yeah. This is ending night 1, so we all walked together. I dropped Marie and Alex off at the train station, and then I just walked myself the rest of the way home. It wasn't very far. Oh, and here's the next reactions that I've missed now. So this is the hotel staff. They were absolutely, they could not get over it. You can see their expressions. They just couldn't believe it. So I basically told them that I had a doll in my room because I was going to be going to work for the next 2 days, and I basically asked if they had paper and pen in the room, because not all hotels do. And yeah, I explained that she's a doll and blah blah blah, and they were just like, "Wait, what?" And they didn't believe me, so I got her out. And then the girls just absolutely loved it, and actually they all just loved it and held her, and you can see them taking photos and stuff. I so wish I had the sound, but I know what's wrong with my camera now. So yeah, it was the little port where my microphone goes into, so I just need to get that cleaned out properly and we should be good to go. Feel free to comment name suggestions below of this baby girl. It is the next morning and we have to dress her before we go to breakfast. So today on my agenda is setup. We have to go and set up the expo, and if we get finished early then I get to have the rest of the day off and do what I want to do. And I wanted to go to the museum, so that was my plan for the day. This outfit is so cute. Caitlin gave me this little romper thing and I absolutely love it so much. So thank you so much, Caitlin. I put the fluffy pom-pom socks with it. We are heading down for breakfast. If you guys have never been to the PBC Expo, this is what it looks like at setup. This is our stand before setting up. There's Glenn. He is the VIP of the Valco world in New South Wales. And these are all the things that we have to unpack. We had like 4 big boxes or pallets or whatever to unpack. We are finished setup, and that is a bendy bus. Look how cool that is. I don't really see bendy buses from where I'm from. I've gone back to the hotel. I've picked up my baby and the doona because I left her there for the day after breakfast. And now I'm heading out to the museum. So we had the ticket to let us go into the dinosaur part. So you can actually get into this museum for free. There's just like a little exhibit that's on like one level, or I don't know, it kind of would depend. But for this time that I went, it was just one level of exhibit, and it was like, I think $24 to go and see that. Here we are in the ticketed part. So it has the world of Patagonia, is that right? All the different dinosaurs. And then it had in there like the world's biggest dinosaur, which was pretty cool. Now we're going back into the free part. So the first dinosaur part was free, and then this part here is free as well. It is just like a bunch of Australian animals that are all taxidermied, and I thought it was absolutely wild. There's even like a little duck in the first row when you kind of walk in, and it shows how it's taxidermied. So one of its sides is taxidermied and the other side is like taxidermied but without like the skin on top. It's kind of weird, but it's very interesting to see how they do it. So this is the free part of the dinosaur museum kind of thing. That's the first part we went in. Ew, those cockroach things were huge. So gross. Standard spider that are in our houses in Australia, the huntsman. So they're pretty big. I mean, they are harmless, but they're like big and furry and scary, but I don't think that they can really kill you. Yes, our famous snakes. These little snakes that just roam around in the bush and eat us. No, they don't, but they do roam around in the bush, and we still get a little scared if we see them. I do anyways. So I finished the museum and I went downstairs and was trying to look in the Anzac Gallery, and unfortunately on the day that I went it was closed. So there are two art galleries and I was at the museum, so I had to go all the way around, and then once I've done there then I can go up and through here to go to the Gallery of Modern Art. If you only have time to do one, I personally really liked the first one more. I went to the second one on the next day. I absolutely loved these. These are Spam ham tins that have been like decorated like into trees or leaves or whatever, and I just thought it was so cool that it's from like on a Spam ham can. After looking at the museum and the art gallery, I needed to go over to find a chemist to buy some antihistamines because I realized I had run out. So I ended up on a strip of shop and just kind of walked around for a little bit. And then I decided I was going to go and grab some dinner. I ended up at this cute little Chinese restaurant, and I got dumplings and pork buns, and they were really good. And then I stopped at the cutest little gelato place on the way home, and it was so good, honestly. It is day 3. Today is Saturday, which means I'm working with Reborn Baby today at the PBC Expo. Gonna leave Bub at home today. This is how I've been getting around. These cute little scooters, you go up and you scan the little barcode on the top and it like unlocks it to your phone kind of thing. And then you can ride it and you just park it anywhere. Now we are in the PBC Expo. We're all set up and ready to go. Here is one of our stands. So come with me for a quick tour throughout the whole place. I'm going to walk from one end to the other. here is my favorite place, the pram test track. Come down here and line up, and when it's your turn, you come in here and you just choose whatever pram you want to take for a spin and push it around the track. That is day one of the expo complete. I've scooted home and grabbed my baby, and now I'm heading over to the other museum to meet some friends. We're just gonna waste some time and then we're gonna have some dinner. So we had a look around there and just used some time. And you guys will not guess what happened. My sound has come back for the last part of the video. Quick update. So I did the convention today, met up with Fiona, had dinner, and it was really nice, just like chatting. We took the babies to the art museum and then we put them in the car and like covered them over safely and went and had dinner and just like talked, and it was just honestly such a good time. And I got home and I had leftovers in the fridge, so I was like, okay, I'm going to heat them up and have a snack. Not that I'm hungry, it's that I can't take them home with me. So anything I don't eat now is going to go in the bin, because otherwise it will be like left in the fridge and it will go to waste regardless. So I'm going to have just a snack in it. So I went down to reception and asked if I could heat up my food. Just me went down there, asked if I could heat up my food, and they're like, yeah, no worries, you can heat up your food. There's a waiver, I have to sign a waiver, because if the food that I have given them is bad and they've heated it up and I get sick, I can't sue them. What does the world come to? But anyways, so then one of the other staff from when I checked in is here, and he's like, oh, can you show him your baby? And I'm like, oh. And then I was like, what time do you finish? And he's like, 11. And it's like 9:30. So I was like, all right, I'll go and get her right now, and then I'll show you her. So I'm going to get her. I'm going back to the lobby to show him the baby.
It's an actual baby.
This is my baby. Oh, thank you so much.
Melted the top of the lid.
Oh, that's alright. Thank you so much.
And you went and got your baby?
I went and got my baby. He loves her.
How old is she?
She is 4 weeks old.
Wow. What's her name?
Alora.
She looks like she's not real. It looks like a doll. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a doll. It is a doll, yum.
That looks like a doll.
Do you want to hold her?
Oh, no, that's...
You're like, no way.
Serious? That's not real?
Yeah, she's a doll, like...
Oh my
That's
god.
the plastic on her hair so that her hair doesn't get all moved around.
Oh, that's so scary.
I got
That's so scary. What? Oh, that's good. Holy.
yeah.
I was here last night.
Yeah.
And the lady said, it's a doll. And Trev, man, she's quiet like a doll.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, she's like perfect like a doll. Yeah.
No.
But it's a doll.
Imagine if you just like left her somewhere. And
Yeah. So I actually came from Sydney, in Newcastle Airport. So I had to fly with her. So I had her in like a carrier, like a real carrier, and I'm going through security.
Of course.
And so if you want to pick her up, just like a real baby, she's weighted and everything.
Like. Oh.
Yeah, you can pick her up, like get her head. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, this
I'll
is
take that
crazy.
off. And she's weighted, and she feels just like a real baby.
Oh my god, this is scary.
Look at you patting her because it's such a normal thing.
I had a baby with
Yeah.
earlier.
I love that.
What is your purpose in life?
So there's so many reasons why people have them. I personally like babies and like dolls and prams. I don't feel old enough to have children yet.
Fair enough,
We just bought a house and we need to work and pay it off a little bit and like, you know. But some people have them just because they enjoy collecting dolls.
Yeah.
Some people like them just to put them in a cabinet. Like some people have them in glass cabinets.
Right.
And then other people have them for other reasons like empty nest syndrome. Their kids grew up. Good morning. It is Sunday. It is the last day of Expo, so I'm all dressed. That means it's travel day, which I'm not looking forward to. I think traveling on the way there is fun because you're going somewhere, and traveling home sucks because you have to pack everything up. Anyways, I'm going to dress her in this outfit. I have decided that she should be okay to wear socks because when I put her in the ergo last time, I just swaddled her actually in this furry blanket. So I'm just going to do the same, so she shouldn't lose a sock. And if she loses a sock, I will buy a new pair of socks. I just don't like the sleeper idea. But I did bring one for her to come home in. Didn't get an opportunity for that outfit, but we're going with this one. And I have to leave her in the cloakroom today. So I'm going to put this sign on her. I'll dress her. I'm going to put blanket over her. Like I'm going to put a blanket on her, and then I'll put a muslin over the top of her, and I'll clip it on with the 2 clips that I've got, like the pram clips, and I'm probably going to put that on top of the blanket, and I'll tell staff, like, she's a doll. I'll say you guys can show her, like, to other staff, but please don't touch her and get her out, and I'll strap her in as well, just in case. But I'm sure they'll be respectful. I don't mind if they show, I just don't want anyone handling her if I'm not around, just because it's my item, and I'm allowed to have boundaries and rules on my items. Alrighty guys, we are back at the airport. Just doing my luggage, putting the ergo on, repacking my bag, so I'm putting anything that I don't need in my big suitcase. I'm going to check it. I'm going to check that, which will have the doona in it. She'll be in my ergo. So let's do this. I'm ready to go home. A quick little story of the airport in Brisbane. I was flying from Brisbane to Newcastle with Qantas. And when you go to check in, I've only ever found the self-check-in kind of things. So basically you go up and you scan your ticket and or put your name and whatever in. It gives you your ticket and it prints your bag tags. So it only printed me 1 bag tag, and that was for my suitcase that I was taking on. And then I was like, how do I check the pram bag? So I went up the front and asked the lady for some help, and she showed me how to put the bag tag in the correct position, which is on the side, and gave me a little trick on how to do that. And midway through, she asked about the baby, or she mentioned the baby, and I was like, oh, she's just a doll. And then she was like, oh, why do you have that doll, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, she's like one of the therapy dolls. and she basically was like, oh, okay, I'll go and get your tag, go and get your bag tag for the car seat that I had. So she went and did that, and yeah, I don't know if they were normally going to let me on or not, so I'm a little just worried. But like I said, I've always had like troubles flying out of Brisbane. I feel like they're so much more cautious with your luggage and stuff. I guess there's a few things in New South Wales that you're not allowed to have that they allow you to have in Brisbane. So I guess that's why. But after that, she came back. She said that she waived it. So I don't know if they were going to charge me or not, but I was prepared to pay for the Duno to be taken and brought back kind of thing, and that was in my mind. If I had to pay, I had to pay. So just be prepared if you do take it, that you should be prepared to pay kind of thing. For the security on the way home, coming home from Brisbane, it was so busy at the airport. Went into the security line and I just unpacked all my stuff and put her on the conveyor belt, put the ergo on the conveyor belt, put everything, my bag and stuff on there, and walked through, and no one even said boo. It was so busy that they just did not care. It was quite funny. But yeah, so it was really easy. No, it was fine to go through Brisbane Airport. Also, if you have flown or have your own story, I would absolutely love to hear. If you could comment below your experiences, that would be wonderful. But I'm so glad that I could film this and show people an experience, just because Ipswich is coming up, and I hear that a lot of people are actually flying up to the Ipswich Reborn Doll Show. So that's going to be so exciting that so many more people are going to be coming up. We are back in Newcastle. Oh, I'm happy to be almost back, but now I have to drive about an hour home. But I mean, we're a lot closer than being in Brisbane, so I'm really happy about that. And that will conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was a different video, and I hope that you learned something about it, or it was a lot of fun to watch. I had such a good weekend, and I am very tired, but I had a great time, so it was definitely worth it. I'll see you guys in my next video.